Some people are practically powerless because they don't pay attention to the source of wealth or to source of power. I say some people are practically powerless. All who blessed through the rod of their revelation. Jacob, we said to Joseph, two sons of Joseph, Manasseh and Ephraim. He said, I lean on the rod of my pen and let the angel that delivered me from all troubles bless you. How did Joseph know? How did Jacob know? He said, a particular angel. Sometimes some locusts, they don't want to ask me about the stories of deliverance, the stories of help, the stories of victory, of pain, of complications, of the angel that has stayed with me, of the angel that is with me. No man can be bigger than the rod that represents him, the rod of his revelation. I said no family can be bigger than the rod. If you look at 11 of the book of Hebrews, there's something that Jacob said there in 21. Jacob. In 11:21 of Hebrews, he said by faith, Jacob, when he was dying, blessed two sons of Joseph, worship, leaning upon the top
of his staff,
of his rod, or if you like staff, something. That's what the Bible said, a rod of revelation shall come out of Zion. A rod. The glory of Zion is in the rod of Zion. I said the glory of Zion is in the rod of Zion. Psalm 114 verse number 4. Psalm 110 verse 4. He says Zion shall produce a rod. When you were born in that family, did you meet any rod? Sometimes rod can be a human being. Yes. Verse number 2. Psalm 1102. 1, yes.
Lord, the Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion.
Yes.
Rule thou in the midst of the enemy.
He says Zion. He says Zion. Zion. Zion, a rod of strength shall come out of you. And that is a rod you will use to discipline enemies. Now I said that rod is encapsulated in Revelation. Something that separates you from ordinary people. An encounter. An encounter that represents the battles you have won. Something that God cannot be silent about. A secret that made your voice very powerful and peculiar. Remember that whatever that must be peculiar, that must be powerful, must be peculiar. That is why there are things you don't share with people. One revelation, your life has altered. Your life will change. One. And then revelation beget revelation. So is here, it was by the rod of Christ that Jesus ruled. The rod of Christ is a rod of Jesus' revelation. The Lion of Judah is going to come with a rod that has ability to end revelation, to finish mysteries. And then, in 1915, nations shall be punished by that rod. If people doubt what you know, will they doubt what you have become? Let me say it again. I say, if human being doubt what you know, tell God that what you know should produce a result. Look at number 19. I'm going to go to another thing. About the ancient king that ruled without Zion. The ancient king that ruled without rod. There's an ancient king that rules Zion with a rod. And the ability of that ancient king represents the royalty and power. Or the emancipation power. The revelational power of that rod. In 15:19 of the book of Revelation. Go ahead. He said, out of his mouth shall come a sharp sword, with which he shall
smite the nation,
and he shall rule them with a rod
of iron.
That is Revelation. That rod belongs to one spirit. And that means both the sword and the rod came from a source. Something that God will not allow another man to know. I said something God will not. Since you were born, is there any knowledge with you that came from pen? Is there any stability that is with you that came from knowing? A stability. A stability is a prosperity. I say a rod of stability is a rod of prosperity. Now, the ancient king that rules Zion. Now, the ancient king that rules Zion with a rod. There is no royalty without dominion. Did you hear what I said? The Bible says in Daniel chapter 2, a mysterious stone came without a hand. And went after the statue of civilization and grinded that statue to powder. And then a supportive wind came and took the ashes. I have a book on it. The stone without hand. Now, it is a mystery. Can I tell you something? Can I tell you? If you see all great nations are builders of destinies, mysteries. All great nations